Hello.
Hello.
I have hit record already, just to let you know.
Awesome.
All right. Ooh, I gotta turn this down. I put my earphones in for the first time in a long time. Dawn, will you say something real fast just so I can hear the volume?
Testing.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh. So loud. Okay. Well, hopefully nobody blasts my eardrums out. Actually, why don't we just stop? Dawn, sorry. Say hello.
What's that?
There we go. Okay, good enough. I'm gonna do it without my earphones. Welcome to Team Longevity Life Basics in the Lane training. My name's Lindsay, and I'm your host tonight. So let's just kick it off and keep it quick and simple. So this is Basics in the Lane training, and we do this to give a quick overview of the beginning part of the system. Once you join the business and you decide you want to do this, this is the process, the dynamic things to do, guidelines, staying in the lane, keeping it simple. So if you're here and you're hearing this, chances are you're going to be familiar with some of this stuff. So, oh, I left on.
I'm still here.
Okay. I clicked on it and it disappeared. That's okay. All right. So, a mentor once asked, "What would you fight a bear for?" Okay, you've heard that one before, but it's pretty powerful, and I really got thinking about that today. And that's your why. That's going to be the driving force behind you, pushing you out of bed in the morning, and it's going to be the thing or things or people or reasons that you're doing this, that you're willing to sacrifice some sleep for, that you're willing to sacrifice your comfort for, that you are willing to sacrifice your convenience for. So your why needs to be big. It needs to be bigger than all your excuses and reasons why not. So pretty important. So that will be the fuel, that will be the fire underneath you to do this business. And I think it was probably, Bill Gates that said, unless you love what you're doing, any sane person would quit because it's difficult. It's not easy. And so you got to learn to love the process. And part of the process, part of the system, part of staying in the lane is to do trainings. Because anybody can do it. It's duplicatable. The system is duplicatable. All right. So you've decided you want to join this business. You want to help people. You want your time freedom. You want health freedom. You want financial freedom. One or all of, or two of those are usually why people join. So that requires reaching out to people. And so got to come up with a list of people to reach out to. And so if you're somebody who maybe wants to do this for enough residual income that you are receiving your auto ship, and it's taking care of itself, getting paid for. But for most of you, it is a serious business, and it's a career change, and it's a serious adventure, and you're doing it so that you can get out of the situation you're in, whatever that may be. So for those people, for the ones that really want to take off with this, it's 200 names to start. It's a list of the people that you know, people that know the people that you know, your contacts in your phone, your contacts in your social media, and anybody that you run into. And so it becomes a dynamic and growing and working list, and we want to prioritize it. We're not going to start with the first person that you've written down on the piece of paper. We're going to prioritize it by getting to know these people a little bit more. If you already know kind of their situation, people that are able to get started with the Z Radical CEO Mega Pack, and also people who have a need, one of the three or combination of the three that I mentioned: financial need, time need, you know, they want more time with their kids, whatever it may be, or a health need. So people that you have mutual respect with, who can start right away, who have a need. That's 3 check marks. So those you want to look for those names. You want to talk through the names and get the ones with the 3 check marks down first. And those you can actually, one of my mentors said that what's useful for that is to transfer that onto a separate list, a working list, a more day-to-day list, but we won't get into that because this is basics in the lane, so we're keeping it very simple. So make a list of 200 people. You prioritize by writing a check, 1, 2, or 3 check marks, depending on you know what criteria they meet. And you want to reach out to them. Chances are, if you're doing this business, you have some level of intention to help others, because in this system, you advantage others, and then you are rewarded. You don't get rewarded unless you are multiplying and duplicating and helping others, serving others first. So, computer is slow tonight. Sorry. All right. So you want to reach out to people. How do you do that? Well, I thought I knew how to do that because of the job that I do. I'm in the medical field. I know how to talk to people. Well, it turns out in network marketing, if you're going to be a professional network marketer, you got to have some tools. You really have to educate yourself. But you can still start, get with your mentor, get with the person who signed you up. They will get you started, at least so that you can get out there, because that's the #1 priority. No matter what else is going on in your life, no matter, you know, you don't have to read the books, and we'll talk about the books in a second, cover to cover. But you do have to have some basics at least to start talking to people. So you reach out to people. Warm market, typically, that's a little bit of a challenge because of familiarity. So again, ask your mentors, your upline about how to approach family. So we want to talk to people, want to become excellent listeners. We want to listen for things that they're not happy about, things that they are happy about. What are their passions? What do they like to do for fun? If they love their job, but they just don't like the system that they're in. For instance, I met a nurse the other day, loves being a nurse, loves helping people, doesn't like the system she's in, doesn't like the place where she works, things like that. So we're really listening for things that they're not 100% satisfied with, and things that they are, so that we can, we ask a lot of questions, open-ended questions, and really listen with the intention of listening, not responding necessarily, right? And so we want to really absorb and draw out of them by asking questions. What do they want? What are their values? So some people may not have a need. I have a neighbor, happy, healthy, and wealthy. No need. No problem. So we are serving people who have a need and a want to do something about it, right? All right. So you meet someone for coffee, you have a great conversation, they have a need, their values and reasons line up, they want to change, they are serious about changing, they are miserable with some aspect of their life, and they are ready to change. So you, that may not necessarily happen in the first conversation, but let's say it does. The exposure and education process average is 4 to 6 exposures. An exposure is just a interface with a part of the system. So an exposure can be a three-way call with someone. It can be a video or a webinar. It can be a CD. It can be meeting a who. We've recently really started talking and bringing to light the who. So when you're providing exposures and educating people, you want to invite them ultimately to a who. So they start getting interested. They ask, well, what is it? And your response is not what, it's a who. So you got to meet this guy. He's awesome. You edify the person, whoever the who is. Edify. And that's a really important exposure is the who meeting. So, and so let's say you invite them to someone's house. You have your who meeting. They are presented with the system, and then you have a little mini meeting after that, just like you would after sending them a webinar or whatever, another exposure, and go over what they, what they liked, what stood out to them, what stuck with them, what was meaningful to them, and those things. You kind of have a mini interview, again, to draw out their values, what they picked up on, what they remember. All right. So you've talked to this person, you've interviewed them, they've watched some webinars, they're really interested, you've invited them to a who meeting, and they want to sign up. Awesome, they're all excited, they're revved up, they're ready to change their life, and so to not let that momentum dwindle, you meet them 24 hours after you sign them up. And you clarify their why, you draw that out, you write it down, you get it concrete, and you help them work on their list. Ideally, they should bring at least 50 names to you, to the meeting, to the 24-hour meeting, but it doesn't always happen. So just encourage them to do that. You can work on it depending on how long you want your 24-hour meeting to be. Make it definite. Write down their list of people, help them prioritize what they've got so that they get the hang of how to do that. And then they're off to a good start. Okay. So a major thing, and especially in the who meeting, if that's one of their exposures, getting their money back. There's an investment to anything when you want to seek change in your life, right? So, but not everybody is willing to apply the system in its entirety. They want to do pieces and parts. So for whatever reason, if they don't make their money back in 30 days, in the first 30 days, there is a money back guarantee. So that's important to share with them. But most people don't need to utilize that because our main goal is to get them their investment and an increase within the first 30 days. That's how the system works. We multiply, we duplicate, and we all increase. We advantage others, and then you're advantaged as a natural effect of that. All right. So we have new ranking titles. You'll learn more as you get into this, but so getting them paid within the first 30 days and then getting them ranked up as fast as possible. That's important for a couple of reasons. Number one, the faster someone makes their first dollar, the retention, and the I guess motivation and their drive really is boosted, and rank advancing just feels good. I don't know about you, but for me, it does. It's like, yes, I'm climbing the ladder. I'm going there. I'm getting there. I'm going up in just a month. So that's that's kind of psychological, but it really is. It does feel good, and obviously there's recognition for that, and your team, especially this team, I'll congratulate you for that and recognize you for it. Because this requires effort. It's simple, but there are parts of it that definitely require you to dig deep. One of our top leaders in longevity, Tom Chenault, has been quoted saying it's a personal development program wrapped in a compensation plan, or one wrapped around the other. I can't remember which way it is, but it's all about, you know, personal development, getting out of your own way. And so that is the system. This is basics in the lane. So did I miss something? I think I missed something. No, I didn't. I always forget there's that second page. Okay. Flying through. All right. All right. So you've signed up this person. They're all excited. They've got their why nailed down. They've got their list, and they're off and running. So ideally, because you've signed them up, you want to communicate with them every day. And then the person that signed you up, you want to have the person that you've signed up communicate with them every other day. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4 communication method. So the one that you sign up is your first level. The one that signed you up is their second level. So that's how it goes every second day, every third day, every fourth day. So staying in communication and how to map out a plan for that. Recently, we're learning how important making a schedule is and sticking to it, and making everything a system, systemizing everything. So that is an important part of systemizing and staying in the lane. So it's all a practice, though. It's not about being perfect. It's not about waiting until you're perfect to go out and talk to people either. So, all right. And also, life happens, and so you want to communicate with people that you're signing up, and just determine kind of a game plan if life starts to sweep them away and they, you know, stop plugging in as much. You're not hearing from them every day like you should be. Just to determine that early on how they want you to proceed with that. If they want, you know, if they want you to leave them alone, which isn't ideal, but however they want you to handle that, that's pretty important, so that you've already gotten their permission to do whatever it is you agree on. I've told my upline, you can harass me, you can call me, you can message me, you can show up at my door. So yeah, so figure that out really. All right, so I mentioned getting plugged in. There are I think Friday and Sunday are the only days that corporate calls aren't happening. They've got some new ones there. And there's one, well, Friday, there's Hair on Fire, and I believe Daily Dose. So, but just corporate calls. Some of them are short, like the Hair on Fire in the morning is like 15 minutes. It's like basically what it sounds like. So you want to stay plugged in, because, you know, it's a culture, and, you know, you're new to it, and so staying plugged in really keeps you moving forward and keeps you focused on your why, because life can sweep you away. So stay plugged in. We've got Boxer, which is an app for communication. We've got trainings like this one. Huge one is events. The 20th anniversary of Longevity Convention in Dallas, Texas in August 14 through 16, I believe. That's a really big deal. The first convention I went to, and the second actually, really changed my life, because, you know, you get into this and you meet your person that signs you up, and, you know, the group that's maybe local, but when you go to an event and you're in a huge room with hundreds of people who are like-minded, who are motivated, who are going after this, who are succeeding, who are duplicating, who are following the system and succeeding, because success is a system, according to our mentor. That's a really big one. But we've got our Facebook group. We've got team trainings, lots and lots of ways that we can get and stay plugged in, and that's really, really important. Okay, so I mentioned with the interview, along with the webinars, CDs, DVDs, the recommended reading list, we do a book club. That's another way we stay plugged in and continue our personal development journey. There are two main staple Bible network marketing books that if you want to do this business, you've got to get these books. One is How to Sell Network Marketing Without Fear, Anxiety, or Losing Your Friends. So that is where the conversation framework is found. That is the right-brained, emotional side of how to connect with people. You go through 7 basic questions, and it's a good idea to do the training. We have trainings for how to do that and how to get better and more flow with that. So the 7 questions are what I was talking about before, where they draw out that person, why, and what their reasons and values are. And then the Go Pro, the 7 skills. That's a left brain, step-by-step, concrete how-to book. Also very, very, very valuable and important. So definitely want to get those. All right, and just some additional tools here at the end. 90 for life, that's the core of the company. Ideally everyone's taking the 90 essentials. In addition to whatever they pick their passion is, there's many, many, many what we call verticals and services in longevity now, from pet products to jewelry to makeup to services like small business lending with David Allen Capital, which is one of the verticals. So there's something for everyone. And one of the things that a lot of people do when they get started, because ideally everyone's on the 90 essentials, that's the core, that's what Dr. Wallach, what he started the company with, it's all his research. We love him. The Healthy Body Challenge. So you start taking the 90 essentials and getting healthier and staying off the bad foods and eating what you should. And what it basically is, though, is it's a coaching opportunity to get coached and get plugged into that group. And most of the time it's a weight loss thing, and so they recognize those people at the convention. They bring them out on stage. They show a video of their journey. It's pretty cool. So just ways to jump in and stay motivated. I mentioned the Z Radical CEO Mega Pack. That's the highest value of product opportunity for building a business, health. It's just an overall the best value. That is what our team, that's our go-to, because it's amazing. All right. Are you next? And then the YGY marketing system. So these are just additional tools that Longevity uses to help you build a business. When you get the Mega Pack, they send you marketing products, workbooks, the comp plan, the how-to, basically, how to do it, the system. All right, that is the basics in the LANE training. Anybody can do this. So if you're just signed up, be prepared that someday you're going to be doing this very training. It's not hard. You follow this thing, you get familiarized with it, and it's no problem. So thanks for joining me. Hope to see you soon. I'm here Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for joining me. Have a good night.
Thank you.